Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to Let's Play Desert Strike. Desert Strike is a mod for Starcraft 2, is one of my favorite mods for the game. I play this all the time. I watch way more Starcraft than I play, and when I play Starcraft, I'm mostly playing this. Someone apparently is having terrible load time, so we might actually get in there and have someone drop, which would be unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. The game balances it pretty well. I think I've done a video for this once before, but I'm currently playing with some players from the live stream, so it's going to make it that much more awesome. So it's actually the three of us on our team are all, well, it's me and two people from the stream, and then the other team, they're just the villains, the bad guys. The next person who says that the stream is losing viewers, even though every time I look at the numbers are going up, I'm just going to ban you permanently. Yeah, if you play 3 hours of StarCraft 2 a month, that's more than I do. Tournament mode, sudden death 60. These guys have gotten like all serious. What is this? Full Metal Husky, who is one of our stream viewers, is apparently having some connection issues. Yeah, well, I'm a jerk guy. You'll die before you can click the button. What? I don't know. Epic game. Lift off, land. Now, what's my order? Oh, I'm first? Okay, I better build. Better build then, but I will make them wonder if I will. By being slow about it. God damn, this is slow. And then we want fire bats. Get it? There we go. Okay, so the nice thing, if you build the units right away, and people don't lag too much, I'm looking at you, Husky, it should make it impossible for them to build defenses. Technically, they could potentially do a kite with their worker. So anyone who doesn't know what this game is, you just build units in your base down here. Excuse the sound. I gotta move the mic. You build just buildings in your base, and it just produces units in a wave. Every 45 seconds, a wave spawns, and first wave will be me, then 110, then Full Metal Husky, and then it'll loop over again. And one of the nice balance aspects of the game is simply that if one of the players drops, it doesn't matter. Let's say Husky drops. Well then, I'll spawn, then 45 seconds, 110 will spawn, then Quill will spawn again, and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter how many players are in a team, you get exactly the same number of spawns. Look at me roast those Zerglings. Yeah, we're actually going to inflict some real damage on this thing. Probably won't take it down, except that we've got a second wave of units coming. We may be able to take this down, and that would be a huge, huge coup. I'm not hating you. I'm just making fun of your connection, because it's funny. And we are almost at 800 minerals, which is what we need to build a gas geyser. So we get minerals over time at a consistent rate. By building a gas geyser, we increase our mineral production rate. However, it does shut down our income for a small amount of time first, and for every geyser you build, it takes longer and longer and longer. So the we're not hating. What am I saying? So it is a little bit of a calculated decision about, look at this, we're totally going to dominate this, about when to build those things, but in practice, the only question is when to build the first one. After you've built one, you basically want to build it every time the build cooldown is up, because it's so strong. You want to start getting that increased economy as quickly as possible. It's just the argument of, do you build one right away, or do you build one wave of units first? Looks like our units are finally going to get killed off here, which is a darn shame. Wow. Or not. Go. Now this is my wave, which is unfortunately very weak because I've only built the one. But now I'm done building the gas. And again, there's no rush. As long as I build it before my countdown happens on my time, I can take all the time in the world. I can let the money pile up and just watch the game and see what happens. Fortunately, the Firebats don't tend to do very well against buildings. They will do really good against these Zerglings, though. Burn the Zerglings! Burn them! I don't think we're going to have enough, though. They're not quite like... Actually, we are going to once again survive with one Firebat, which is good. The fact that the building keeps taking damage means that it can't regenerate its shields. And now these Marines over here from 110 should be able to finish everything off. So that's quite good. Now we're going to build some more stuff here. I'm going to put in a second wave of Firebats. Husky? Husky? Don't DC. Because they should be able to tank most most everything. Okay, we killed the silo, which means we get bonus gold. They also get their silo Trask coming out, which is going to murder all our units. Where the hell is their Trask? I guess it went back. But that's okay. So they can't die right away. But we still have a huge bonus. At this point, there's going to be a lot of barracks because the Marines do really good damage in most situations. The only thing they're not as good at is anything that's strongly armored. Shoot, I didn't get that barracks down on time. But in this particular situation early on, they're going to do amazingly with the fire bats to tank, and then they'll just kill everything right behind it. So we are actually in fantastic shape. There's the Trask. So this is my wave now. Much, much better. And assuming that the Trask does huge splash damage and is very hard to kill. So it's entirely possible for there to be, depending on the timing, the Trask could kill our wave, and then they could come and have enough time to take out the silo in return, in which case the game will be even. But if... And I screwed up, I didn't save myself enough gold here. I should be building my refinery right now because the cooldown is up, so that's a failure on my part. Although it does mean I have a really good wave. I shouldn't have built this barracks, the one I was complaining about that I missed. I shouldn't have built it. You see, slaughtered all our units, and now these Zerglings are coming. But if we can hold off a little bit longer, the fact that we build more units at this point is just going to convert into a huge, huge economic edge, and we should be able to just win. At some point we'll have enough units that we don't have to worry about the Trask. It'll get killed off. It's not really a tower defense game, but it's certainly reminiscent of that, and I enjoy this quite a bit. Hey, Macs are good. They play Blizzard games perfectly fine. Oh, Banelings. That is okay. Okay, maybe a little early to get tanks. Tanks are very, very, very expensive, and they tend to need cover. By the way, Husky, you can build your buildings quite a bit tighter to the wall. You might need the room later. And building one Dark Shrine is really nice. Or two's also good if you get it early enough, which it is, and we've got an economic edge. So now they're going to be forced to get stealth detectors, which is always a lot of fun to force that on players who are economically weaker. But you don't want to overdo it on stealth because it's actually quite easy for people to get stealth detectors. And actually right here they're just going to walk into the towers, but that's fine. So, just still trying to evaluate the waves. So this is my wave. At some point we will have to start throwing some Marauders in there. Probably pretty soon. But I am going to build a second line of barracks. Yeah. Wow, these Zerglings are so dead. I was going to say, they can't be all they have. There we go. So he's rushing up to tech quite a bit as well by going the Infestor route. Yeah, the stream has a little bit of latency, so if you're playing, the timing is a little weird. I guess it's just going to be more Marines for now. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's build one factory, and we'll build one starport, just to unlock some more buildings. It'll be quite good. We'll end up with one Banshee, which again will sort of force the cloak detector issue. But again, it's not something that really stacks very well, because once they get a cloak detector, then you're screwed. See, these tanks, by the time they're sieged up, they're dead. So that is actually way too early to build tanks. You need a whole lot of meat shields in front of the tanks. You need at least one row of barracks with the Marauder add-on, but in practice, 2 rows of barracks with a mix of different add-ons is the way to go. Oh, I'm not saying this to talk to you necessarily, or whatever, but other people want to learn the game. Certainly, my opinion that's the way to go. And I'm not paying attention to my gas. Oh my God, I'm doing terrible. I'm there perfectly. I have my build set up so that I get exactly 800 minerals when my gas cooldown comes up, and I never miss a beat. This is terrible. Because you want to get your gas every time you can, because it's just the economy is so good. So we've got their Trask at about 1/3 health, which is pretty baller. And these Dark Templars are going to do pretty good. Oh no! Stupid fungal growth. Still decent damage there. We're holding them back. They're having no chance whatsoever to ever reach our silos, so our economy should be totally safe. Unless we come out with a completely retarded build composition, I think we're actually just going to run these guys over completely. Which is pretty awesome. It's not like we coordinated anything special. We just did slightly less badly than they did. The big thing is just called the Trask. Nice cloaked Manchi from the back here, picking them off. Always handy. Yeah, apply a little damage to the Trask, that's fine too. And then you're going to fly right into the detectors, but that's okay. Okay, now, Archons are amazing in general, especially early on, because there's a lot of bio early on, especially when you've got a Zerg opponent, obviously, because they do extra damage against biological things, which is going to be a lot of the opposition at this point. They're also extraordinarily tanky. So later on, you've got, you know, your row of Archons, your row of Immortals, and then like 8 Colossus behind it. It just starts to become pretty strong. Can I build the barracks this whole time? No. There, see, there's a stealth detector. And uber turrets have tripled the firing rate. But it's a balance thing. They are still relatively squishy when you truly get to them. Oh, poor Banshee. But we're still applying a lot of pressure, which is good. This is a ground-based Viking. The factories produce those by default. They're not very good. But they're at least a meat shield, and they can't be, you know, they're not biological, so that's something. You need the factories because later on you put tech labs in the factories and you get siege tanks, and siege tanks are awesome. So you have no choice but to build those. Now, what am I going to build next? I guess I'm going to start adding maybe a couple more Firebat buildings and then just go heavy Marauder. I think I'm going to throw one Predator in the mix too, just to screw up some of the auto cast targeted abilities. And that's just going to be a bunch of Marauders to help take down the Roaches. I'm not sure exactly who I face, but Marauders are always good because eventually there's always going to be mechanical. Okay, that siege tank's actually kind of a pain in the ass. The neuroparasited siege tank. So annoying. Now, luckily the units are smart enough that they don't focus fire the mind-controlled unit. They go after the infestor whenever possible. So you do get your unit back. Yeah. Oh, Psystorms already? Really? Wow. Let's get some medevacs, maybe. Yeah, I don't know how the sound is right now, because I've got the sound coming in through the speakers. How's it sounding to the stream? Not getting any like weird echo or anything like that? If not, that's a really, really good sign. And it'll be really good when my new mic comes in, which should be next week. It should be really quite amazing. What was I going to build? Oh, I think more medevacs. I'll build them along the bottom. They're pretty good, and they don't always die with your wave, so they'll help out. Well, they'll help out 110's units basically. By the time it comes to Husky, they'll probably be out of energy, but it'll still help with the waves. You don't want to overdo it on medevacs, but they are pretty decent. They do help heal your stim, obviously. They've got the double beam, I think, so they heal 2 units at once. They'll help counter the fungals a little bit as well. Oh, Void Ray, so good. I mean, you need a Void Ray just because you need that building to unlock a lot of tech, but they actually do pretty good if they come out at the right time. However, here they've got a lot of Hydras, so that's only going to work so well, unfortunately. Though the Hydras are all focusing the Archons, which is perfect. In fact, things are dying so fast the Void Ray is not even getting a chance to charge up. That's annoying. It's getting a really good charge here on a Marauder or something, but oh, it does get focused down. This guy's actually got a lot of mech coming his way. Still, I think we'll do okay, so yeah. Let's take a look at what our composition does. Now, half his army's already dead and a little bit weakened, but it'll still be a little bit of a good sign. So Firebats died pretty quick, I think, to the Marauders. But Marauders actually do quite badly against Marines. Marines do a lot more DPS. Why would you build a science vessel at this point? You don't have that much mechanical stuff to heal. Mind controlling the medevac is kind of cute, though. I will give it that. Oh, someone's going the Wraith build. Very interesting. Wraiths, of course, cloak. But they... Oh my god, I'm not spending my money. I'm so distracted by commentary. Alright, let's build stuff. And we will go a couple more medevacs. Wraiths can cloak, and they're really good at anti-air. And they target stealth detectors at a very high priority. So you can actually get in this sort of zone where you kill their stealth detectors immediately, and then you just dominate them. Now, they can be countered by infestors and ghosts, but it's still not bad, and it does lead to a really funny situation sometimes. But it can be countered by someone who plays very smartly. So they're pushing us back a little bit, but I don't think that's a sign that our builds are that poor. I think it's just some of the normal back and forth, but it does mean they have a chance of getting the silo, and if they do, that really does mean bad, because we each have like 1,000 gold extra, so we should be pretty far ahead. Yeah, it's very similar to Nexus Wars, and I like Nexus Wars a lot for the ability, the way the buildings work, and the way you can sort of structure your base and things. The problem is, Nexus War is totally broken if one of your guys is slightly dumb, and especially with disconnects and things, it doesn't handle it as well. Yeah, you get income pooling, but I don't find that it tends to work. Let's throw in a Raven to the mix, because why not? And now, I think I'm done with my infantry. I'm going to build, I suppose I could save up for a tank, actually. It might be a decent time. See, at this point now, check it out. See, there's enough here tanking. And one thing I will say is, if you keep spamming like this, I'm not going to want to. Look at all those rates. See that? Check that out. Free reign over here. No detection because they got picked off. Plus, the enemy aren't building a lot of detectors. It's actually a pretty sweet situation. You can throw in a few Banshees now, because Banshees do much better ground damage. Wraiths kind of suck with their ground, but you need enough of them to kill the detectors. It doesn't always work, but for crying out loud, tank me! Tank! Oh, just in time. Holy cow. Woo! Yeah, I actually think that the Wraith guy, who is 110, I think you need more Banshees. I don't think your Wraiths are doing enough ground damage, but I don't do a good job with that build, so I'm not necessarily the person to ask. Those ghosts kind of suck, taking away all your energy. I hate when the ghosts actually EMP properly. Very frustrating. So, I'll probably add on some more tanks. We'll see. Hopefully I've got enough of a front row. I don't think that's my wave. No, that's 110's wave. Oh, see, they have Cloak too. They have Banshees. Which means I should actually be contributing with a Monitor Blimp of my own to do detection. And, you know, that might actually cost us a Nexus, the fact that I didn't react there quite quickly enough. And we'll be okay this wave, but it's starting to get kind of close. Unfortunately, Husky doesn't have a lot of biological units, so the medevacs are only doing so much. They do help the Zealots, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's less than good. I mean, we could boom here, but I don't think it's worthwhile. And so the problem is now, our Silo Beast doesn't do much. It's going to die so fast because things have built up so much. This is actually really less than positive. I got a couple of tanks. I think my composition seems to be doing okay here, since that's most of a Zerg wave. So that went okay-ish. And we'll see what happens now that I'm partially damaged, how we do against the second wave. Interesting, they're starting to build the Vikings, so they're trying to counter the air. It's not going to affect me much. Yeah, most of my front line is gone. I don't think the tanks are going to be able to beat these guys down. Although, that's not bad at all, actually. Okay, the Thors are going to hurt against the Viking, or against the Wraiths. Gotta kill the stealth detectors. Nope, the Science Vessel is not a stealth detector. Stupid Wraiths. Okay, that actually went okay. We're just gonna go heavy mech right now. I'm not 100% sure I've got enough of a front line, but I think it's okay-ish. And, wow, we are getting pushed back pretty heavily. Everyone's got all their gas? Yeah. Maybe it's my late gas that are doing it. Yeah, that wave is kind of getting ripped apart. I think you need more frontliney stuff. Either more Archons or like maybe like Dark Zealots or something. This is really... wow. That's a lot of infestors, too. We definitely don't want to boom yet. Don't boom yet. We're going to be okay here. If we're going to boom, it's going to be when the next wave shows up, but I think we're going to be okay. We want to delay as much as we can. The fact that we've been pushed back at this point means they do have a much better composition than we do. Okay, this is a decent counter push. There's going to be lots of tanks here. Hopefully defend long enough for 110's units to show up. And then we will go as a double wave, and we should be able to push them back really aggressively. Because my tanks are still alive, and they're going to be bombarding from behind 110's units, including his tanks. So you get that double amount of splash damage. It starts to be pretty sick. Plus the medevacs. I think we'll hold off these Earth... Okay. Those fungals! Okay, 110. I think you need ghosts. I'm not sure, but I think so. I can build them as well, but I don't think I come up against a wave that really ghosts would help against much. Yeah, I think we need some more frontline units for the Protoss. Like Zealots, Dark Zealots, the Templars, whatever they can be upgraded into. I should be paying a little bit more attention. I guess I'll build another tank. I'm going to boom next time there's a wave that shows up. We need to push them back. So I'm just waiting for the second wave to arrive right over here. And I'm timing it, Oh, I gotta go now. It's suboptimal. Yeah, it didn't kill all of them, but I guess it got most of that wave. So now we are going to be